Alright, welcome back everybody. This is Benvenue on Ben's Corner, and we've got another episode in store for you. And what I did last year, and I think I'll do again this year, is preseason or pregame prep shows. We already did a preseason where we set our rosters and everything. This is where we will take a look at our upcoming opponent. It's going to be our first opponent of the year, a team we're familiar with because they're in our division and we played them twice last year. It's the Brooklyn Bulls. And not only that, we will also take a look. We'll set our season goal for the year. Looks like one of our coordinators wants to talk to us about one of their defensive players. I have a very good idea who that will be. It's going to be their superstar pass rusher, Cassidy Whitworth, I'm pretty sure. Also have some roster news. Some players from our practice squad have been signed, and one interesting name is Deacon Cohen has been signed away from our team to the Brooklyn Bulls. So I'm wondering if they're trying to get some inside baseball, as they say, from Deacon Cohen. Hey, what have they been doing in practice? What have you seen? Can you let us know? And Lorenzo Day, a promising left outside linebacker, has been signed away to the Vikings, and I made a couple of practice squad signings to replace those players. There's not a whole lot left on free agency that interests me, so I think the roster's pretty much set unless something crazy happens and I get an injury or something. I don't know, but there's not a whole lot out there right now. And I'm not going to poach other teams' practice squads just to put a player on my practice squad. I'm not going to do that. If I'm going to take a guy, he's going to be on my roster for a reason. He's going to play. Alright, so our season goal, I think it's pretty obvious. We're not going conservative this year. We're going to the playoffs. That's our goal. We're aiming high this year. Let's see what our OC wants to talk about. Hey, Coach, any thoughts on how we're going to handle Cassidy Whitworth this week? He is by far the most disruptive member of the Brooklyn front seven. His balance, quickness, and body control are unreal. The guy's an off-the-charts athlete. I always go with the middle option. I don't think you're ever... If he's as good as he was last year, he got 2 sacks from each side of the defensive line. He switches up depending on what their package is running. So you got 1 sack against their left tackle and 1 against their right tackle. So I don't think we're going to shut him down. We're just going to slow him down. I agree. Whitworth is going to be a problem, but we'll strategize ways to minimize his impact. It's all we can do. If we do attempt any deep passes, which I'd strongly advise against, make sure the quarterback audibles to max protect at the line of scrimmage to prevent sacks. We'll need as many blockers as we can get. Yeah, we'll take a look at Cassidy Whitworth. He is a very good pass rusher. We'll take a look at their whole team. So we have all those things out of the way. Went over Deacon Cohen being signed and Lorenzo Day. Good luck to those guys. I wish we would have kept them. Could have kept them, but, they're on the practice squad for a reason. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this Bulls roster. We already know our roster fairly well. And the Brooklyn Bulls. And there's Cassidy Whitworth right there, their highest overall player. We'll take a look at him as we get into the positions, but starting things off is their signal caller, Grayson Carter, with a bazooka arm. Up there in age at age 36, so maybe losing a little bit of that cannon arm. He's a Superstar X. He's not going to have his Superstar abilities anymore because you have to be an 80 at least to get one of them. So let's take a look at what he did last season. And over his career, you see about 4,000 yards almost every season. Quite a number of touchdowns in 2023. And then the interceptions started coming. But, last year, 3,600 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Other than the yardage, that's kind of what Kiefer Byrne did last year. 65% completion. He's been around the low to mid 60s his whole career. So, very serviceable quarterback. And he does run every once in a while. So we have to keep an eye on that. He doesn't have great speed. And their backup is a rookie, Khalil Bridges, who is a strong-armed rookie. It looks like he's got pretty good accuracy. I mean, for rookie stats, you got an 81, and for one of your accuracies, that's pretty good. The other two are almost 80. So it looks like they're set up for their guy of the future with Khalil Bridges. Let's see if he's got any dev trait. No, just normal. But 6'6", 228. He might have a promising future. The running back, Darion Rush, 29-year-old, 75 overall. I believe he is was one of the top rushers last season. A little bit of a slow burn. No, not much actually. I must be confusing him with another team. He's got some fumble problems last year as well. And they used him in the passing game quite a bit last year. They have Devontae Warford as a backup, so they got a lot of speed in their running back group. Let's take a look at his numbers from last year. Yeah, it looks like they spread the ball around, and he was very productive in his carries. 4.77 touchdowns, and they throw the ball to him every once in a while. Omari Stark is their primary kick returner, and Warford is the backup kick and punt returner, and then Rhodes is their third string kick and punt returner. Stark's got a lot of speed. I remember him from last season. Not very productive as a running back. We'll have to see what he's done in the return game. So he had a touchdown the year before last. And on the punts, fairly middle of the road as far as that's concerned for the averages. And then Rhodes is a rookie, so he hasn't played yet, but you can see he's a little bit of a departure from what they normally go with. Just speedy, elusive backs. Their fullback is the veteran Hilliard Cosby. 6 foot tall, 255 pounds, not a lot of speed. And I'm not really seeing, 59 run blocking, 74 lead block, and 73 impact is okay, but that's not great considering his only job is really to throw blocks. He doesn't have great hands either from what I can recall. 63 is not that good. The receiving group is led by Jeffrey Cole, 6'4", 229, so he is basically their version of Perry Wood. Our Perry Wood's got better hands, but it's 92 spec catch, 90 release, can jump out of the gym at 97 jumping, fairly decent speed and acceleration. They have 6'1" Sean Portis, decent speed. Byron Lewis, 6'1", 201. Quincy Palmer, the veteran. And rookie Clay Herman. At tight end, they have a very good one in Desmond Jones. Not a lot of speed, but he's going to catch everything thrown to him. He's what you know as a possession tight end, and his blocking for a tight end is not bad. Backing him up is another very good catching tight end, Brad Sheffield, 6'3", 252. And then their third tight end, the blocker, Cole Tomlinson. He's got a bit of athleticism to him, can still catch. And actually, he is a pretty good blocker as well. Starting left tackle is Kasim Carruthers, 77 overall, young second-year left tackle. Got good strength, very good pass blocking, not so much in the run blocking. And Lincoln Moreland is going to be their starting right tackle. They don't have a very good right tackle, so they just slide Lincoln over there. That's what they did last season as well. Starting left guard is Kiefer Horn, 81 overall. Very well balanced, 86 strength, 83 pass blocking, 83 run blocking, just very good overall. The backup is the veteran Richard Gibson. At starting center, it's Cal Abrams, 27 years old. bit better in the run blocking, and just the opposite is true for the backup Zach Anderson, who is a very good pass blocker and pretty good at run blocking. Right guard is 24-year-old Roman Monk, 82 overall, promising young lineman, and he is good in pass blocking and good in run blocking, so just balanced overall. Backing him up will be the veteran Ronnie Newby. At right tackle, there you go. You see, they don't have a lot of talent here. It's 64 overall Marco Ayers, and then the backup Carlos Dye at 63 overall. So work in progress over at right tackle, but as long as they have Lincoln Moreland to play, they're all right. At left end is William Logan. Very good block shedding. I'm trying to look at his finesse and power moves. His power move's not tremendous. Where's finesse move? So he just looks to be a run-stopping left end. Very good block shed. 89 block shed, 90 tackling. That's very good for a defensive end. So running against him is going to be a struggle. And Mike Jones is the backup. Veteran, 30-year-old, 74 overall. He's got more strength, and he's more of a pass rusher, so might be a situational type thing. There is the man Cassidy Whitworth at 29 years old, Superstar X, 85 overall, 82 speed, 85 acceleration, 93 finesse moves, block shedding 72, tackle 91. So I know he's a disruptive force. We're going to have to see where he lines up and take notice and try to protect Kiefer Byrne as much as possible. The backup is Curtis Perry, 73-year-old, 73 overall, 25-year-old. Not quite as talented as Whitworth, but you wouldn't expect them to be. At defensive tackle, they have Colton Younger, 75 overall, 30-year-old veteran. And then backing him up, they don't have a lot of talent here, so I can understand why they took Deacon Cohen. But he was only a 61 overall. Not very speedy. Not a lot of strength. But he's got some block shedding and tackling. And I think he is a star dev, so that's why they were interested. I was going to just try to develop him. Be a Sheldon Bates clone, but doesn't look like it's going to happen anymore. And there's Jelani Steels, 59 overall, third string D tackle. Left outside linebacker, they have the veteran Brunson Leonard, who is a very good run stopper, 6'2", 239. Back up is Floyd Allison. A little bit more speed to him, and looks like he is more... Nope, not really much of a pass rush threat, and they have Richard Guerrero, the third stringer. Middle linebacker, superstar Anton Simpson, 24-year-old middle linebacker. Not a lot of speed, but he'll tackle everything he can get to. Backing him up is Xavier Wilcox, Artavius Nolan, and Brandon Jarrett. At right outside linebacker, it's Jimmy Hilliard, 29-year-old, 75 overall. Got a lot of block shedding, good tackler. Terrell Sharp, the rookie, is his backup, very athletic. Not much pass rushing skills, but looks to be a solid player. And then Niles Moss at cornerback. All zone coverage, except for the very even the last man is decent zone coverage, but more man. But all of their corners, Isaac Graham, Aaron Ryans, Samuel Frazier, Julian Harmon, and Eddie Ramsey. You can see not a ton of speed, not very good agility, but very good zone covering and decent press. So we might have a matchup nightmare here if we can get Bradley behind this secondary. Because there's not a lot of speed to be found. There's Tyson Carney, 70 overall, and the veteran Eric Colvin. I believe he was the starter last season, but perhaps with the regression from age. He is dipped down in speed a little bit, and that has bumped Tyson Carney up in the pecking order. At strong safety, it's Joseph Jarrett, the veteran, and backed up by the rookie Trey Jowers. So again, not a lot of speed here in this secondary. Their kicker is John Bautista, and their punter, Max Moses. So now you have a look at the Brooklyn Bulls. We can take a look at their head coach is Nathan Cable, I believe. Let's take a look at him real quick. I think if we go to stats, we can see the coach stats. And he hasn't been around long. Let's get to him real quick for the Bulls. There he is. Nathan Cable. He's got 14 wins to 18 losses. 1 playoff win, 1 playoff loss, and he's never been to a Super Bowl yet. This team had some trouble with their offensive and defensive playbooks last year. I noticed they had some kind of Madden glitch where they lost players on the field, which is not good. So I went in and fixed their playbooks. I'm going to see if that held up. I should be able to tell from my coaching screen whether they went back to their Buffalo offense and defense, because that is what they were running before, and I have changed it. So what I did is they were running Buffalo's offense and defense. I went over this in a previous episode, but I just wanted to re-emphasize it here, is that the New England system on offense is pretty much the same scheme as the Buffalo one. It was a multiple power that attacks a variety of ways in the passing game. That's the exact definition of the Buffalo offense. And the Carolina defense is a multiple 4-3, just like the Buffalo one. I think the Carolina one has 1 or 2. I don't think they had the dollar package, and I don't think they had the quarter. So, but it's the same scheme. That's what I was looking for, is just run something similar that they had, just so we don't get a glitch in the game like we had last year, because it's disruptive. I can't play the game in Super Sim slow that way. I have to normal sim everything that way, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So, that's going to do it for this episode. We've already gone over the team. Let's take a look at the schedule that we have this year, because it is rather interesting. We're going to be racking up quite a number of frequent flyer miles this season. So we start out at home against the Bulls, so we're going to be on the East Coast. And then we fly out to Dublin, Ireland to take on the Celtic Tigers. And then we go back to Brooklyn to take on the Bulls again. We have a bye week, and then we just go down the road to Florida. Then we go across country to San Diego, California. And then we come back to the East Coast to play in Philadelphia. And then we go back to the West Coast in California to take on the Sacramento Miners. And then we come back to Central America to take on the Columbus Explorers, kind of a northeast towards the middle of the country. Then we go up to, well, actually, no, we come home. Okay, so we're going to be on the East Coast, so we go East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast. Then we're going to go to Canada. And then we come back home for 3 games in a row. That's nice. And then we go to Columbus, which is kind of close. Then we come back home again. And we stay on the East Coast. And then we go to Mexico City no, actually we stay at home. Okay, so this last half of the season isn't as bad as I thought, since a lot of these games are at home. So we'll stay in the relative area. But another thing that I saw was these week 1 against the Bulls, week 3 against the Bulls. Come on, Madden, can't you do better than that? And then my bye week is early again. It's week 4 bye. I hate those early buys. And the other thing I wanted to see is when we play the Explorers, because we're going to play them twice. They were the best team in the division. They went to the Super Bowl last year. We play them at home in week 9, and then week 14 we see them on the road. So Could be interesting matchups there. So we got our work cut out for us, but everything starts with the Bulls, and we don't look past anyone. One game at a time, as they say. So what do you think of this season? What do you think of the choices that I made? Our season goal is the playoffs. I think that's very realistic based on what we did last year. I mean, we went 10-6. We went to the playoffs. We made some improvements to the roster that I think are going to propel us at least to the playoffs, maybe even give us a little bit past the first game, hopefully. We were one and done against the London Bulldogs last season. We're looking to prevent that this year. And, nothing left to do but to play the game, right? So that's what's going to be up for next episode. It's going to be game day. Brooklyn Bulls coming to Orlando to play our Sentinels. What do you think? You placing your bets? Who's going to come out on top? So that's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you next time. It's game day here in Orlando. Take care, everybody. You have a nice day.